What's going on, you guys? Chris Eubanks Jr. just had a pretty interesting fight, to say the very least, against a tough Liam Williams. And like I said earlier, he better take this guy seriously because at the very least he could put up a bad performance. But we're gonna talk about it. Chris Eubanks Jr. gets the job done against Liam Williams via unanimous decision. Via unanimous decision, knocked him down 4 times. First round, second round, fourth round. And I believe it was I want to say it was the 10th or 11th round. Yeah, 11th round, knocked him down again. He's fighting a lot like Roy Jones tonight. A lot like Roy Jones. But one thing I see that he lacks that Roy Jones had was the reflexes. You know, he was getting hit with jabs, and he seemed to let Liam Williams kind of win I say rounds 5 through anywhere from round 6 through 10. He won. Liam Williams really showed a spirited effort. Liam Williams, Chris Eubanks Jr. could have really made a lot of mistakes tonight. Got caught a lot, hands was down a lot. He don't have the reflexes Roy had to be fighting exactly like Roy Jones Jr. And that's exactly what he was doing tonight. He was fighting like Roy Jones Jr. But real quick, Savannah Marshall and Clarissa Shields had a face-off. Savannah Massive Marshall, she's fucking huge. Huge. Oh, you said Liam Williams is a dirty, arrogant fighter. What's up, Obsidian Lion Codekeeper? I saw a lot of back and forth, like a lot of animosity in the ring between Chris Eubanks and Liam Williams. Chris Eubanks Jr. is really doing a lot of showboating, doing a lot of the Roy Jones razzle dazzle. He was getting caught a lot though. Hey, you ain't lying, the Prodigy Chunk. I was thinking that this fight could have possibly been a draw, just because the way he was just losing rounds. You know, he kind of just let up off the gas. But then at the last 12th round, he seemed to have had a lot of energy to just simply run around the ring and avoid fighting. What was that energy at the past 4 rounds before that, dude? Right? Where was that energy at? Now you didn't have it. Letting this dude hit you with jabs and shit and cut you off, cutting the ring off on you, hitting you with shots. You know what I'm saying? But Chris Eubanks Jr., I'm a fan of Chris Eubanks Jr., but I'm just grading him accordingly. He looked okay tonight. You know, he looked like a little Roy in there at times. You know, he looked like a little Roy. Oh, he said he wanted to punish Liam because he's a dirty fighter. Okay, so that's what the little animosity was about. It seemed like it was a lot of animosity. I didn't really follow this fight as closely as some of the others. Yeah, Roy, you say is Roy the right training for him? Yes and no, because he listens to Roy. You know what I'm saying? He'll listen to Roy. But I think he just lacks certain things that Roy had. I mean, he's a stiff little Roy. You know what I'm saying? He's a little stiff. You know, Roy wasn't stiff, and Roy had a lot of power. In both hands, he'll put your lights out. Chris Eubanks Jr., he do got power. He do got power, but it's not enough to close the show as we saw tonight against Liam Williams. I mean, Liam Williams was running in and shit. A lot of times he did get knocked down. He got knocked down with a jab, a nice jab. Chris Eubanks Jr. had his good moments in this fight tonight. But I think he let off the gas a lot in the middle rounds, and Liam Williams was really coming back and coming on into this fight. Yeah, man. One may say he may have stopped being Roy, find his own style. You know, Roy is Roy, and I did see shades of Roy in Chris Eubanks tonight, but Roy is Roy, and I felt like at times he should have just went back to who he is, and he probably would have just got that fucking guy up out of there, man. He would, if he was the aggressive Chris Eubanks. Remember, Chris Eubanks Jr. is extremely aggressive. He throw a lot of punches. Never used to get tired. Now he getting tired and shit. And you know what I'm saying? He should have just bum rushed that dude, man. He should have just bum rushed him and got him up out of there. After the 4th round, he should have just went back to Chris Eubanks Jr. and got him up out of there. The Roy Jones Jr. shit was cool, but he should have went back to Chris Eubank Jr. and ran him right up out the ring. Salute the baby Juju in the building. What's going on, bro? Yeah, man, Don Shada. Roy had the reflexes and the explosiveness. You know what I'm saying? Roy used to explode. Chris Eubank Jr. don't have that. He don't have the athleticism, the reflexes, or the explosiveness that Roy had. Roy was a freak of nature. So that's how he was able to use that style so effectively. Chris did good, though. You know, he did good tonight. Liam Williams is a tough guy. I knew Liam Williams was going to be tough. Hit that like button for your boy. Just a quick post-fight reaction. Chris Eubank Jr. just defeated Liam Williams. He said he wanted to punish this guy because he's a dirty fighter. Did he do enough to punish this guy? I don't know. I felt this fight could have possibly been a draw. If Chris Eubank Jr., you know, I felt this shit could have been a draw, man. If it wasn't for the 4 knockdowns that he got, and one may question the last knockdown. One may question the last knockdown that he had, because it was more like a kind of like a push, but it was still, you know, they still wrote it off as a knockdown. I wasn't complaining, but I saw it. You know what I'm saying? I saw it. But he had time to work with Roy. He's fighting a lot like Roy. It was working at times. I felt he should have used his jab a lot more. This is Liam Williams was kind of just there to be hit for the most part, you know. He got tired pretty quick in the fight. Like, I never used to see Chris Eubank Jr. was a guy, from my knowledge from back in the day, used to have a damn near endless gas tank, throw a shit ton of punches. Now he's getting tired and shit. He's getting tired against Liam Williams. Liam Williams gave Demetrius Andrade a tough fight too. He gave Demetrius Andrade a tough fight too. So I already knew this dude was gonna be pretty tough going into the fight. I knew he was gonna be pretty tough. And then he's fighting in his hometown. You know what I'm saying? He had his hometown crowd with him. You know how they do in the UK. They show support. But there's a few things I didn't like about Chris in this fight. Some of his arrogance, I really didn't like it. But see, I didn't know the backstory either. You know, I thought he was just being an asshole. You know, he was doing a lot of arrogant things. You know, dude would hit him, and then he'd be like, "Come on, like, what's this?" And he'd walk up to him with his hands all the way down. Just like, I don't like that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because if you was in there with somebody that could punch and shit, they would knock your ass the fuck out, bro. You know what I'm saying? If you was up in there with a dog, yeah, get them likes up, man. Hit that like button for your boy. You said Thurman looks like he's in phenomenal shape. You said Chris won by a wide margin. Shit. Man, he was losing some of them rounds, though. You know what I'm saying? He gave up some of them rounds. I still gave him the fight. He said, so is Liam still a bum? I never said Liam was a bum. I never said that, bro. I never said Liam was a bum. He's a tough guy. Because Chris Eubank Jr., I seen him wreck dudes. I seen Chris Eubank Jr. wreck dudes like the dude Canelo fought, Avery Uterman. I seen Chris Eubank Jr. wreck that guy, destroy him. You know what I'm saying? I seen him wreck that dude. That dude was able to get a fight. Him, Avery Uterman, Chris Eubank Jr. destroyed this dude. Then he proceeded to fight Canelo there soon after. You know what I'm saying? Liam Williams is a tough guy. He's gonna keep getting up. He's gonna keep fighting to the end. He's gonna keep coming forward. And I think that's probably what kind of fatigued Chris Eubank Jr. in this fight. Dude's pressure. He gonna keep coming. He gonna keep coming. He gonna get up off the canvas. He gonna keep pushing that jab in front of you. He's gonna keep trying to make something happen. He's in good shape, and he's gonna keep coming forward. Not the most skilled guy, I know shit like that, but he's a world-class tough guy. So if anything, Chris Eubank Jr. should have gained some experience from this fight, trying to implement this new Roy Jones style that he's using. it's cool to see it. You know what I'm saying? I'm a big Roy Jones fan. It's cool to see it. But man, he was getting hit with a lot of shit. You know, he was getting hit with shit that I don't think a prime young Roy wouldn't even get hit with. Roy would have got him out of there with probably one shot. Straight right hand. You know the Roy Jones special? That right hand Roy got, he would have got him out of there with that, man. Chris was trying to do it, but it wasn't landing. But he did knock dude out with a jab. He knocked dude down with a jab. I forgot what the other knockdowns was, but he was nice early in the fight. Chris Eubank Jr. looked really good early in the fight. Then in the middle rounds, he seemed to have fatigued. And in the last 12th round is when he seemed to have got a second win, and he just pretty much avoided the fight and just was showboating and running around the ring. So that's pretty much how that played out. So what's next for Chris Eubank Jr.? Well, he said he wants to fight Triple G. Actually, they had to do the press conference. I mean, the interview after the fight. They had to do it in the back because of the crowd is pretty hostile right now. You know what I'm saying? Fool of Sports says Liam Williams was softened up by Boo Boo for Eubanks. Yeah, one may say that. Liam Williams is tough, man. So I said, man, you can't never, like, sometimes a dude you never heard of, man, them dudes be tough as hell. Just because you never heard of him and shit. He may not be the most popular guy. He may not have a flashy style or a massive fan base, but that motherfucker tough as shit. And he'll give your favorite fighter a hell of a night. Make him look bad. You know what I'm saying? Make him look, you know. But I like Chris Eubank Jr. You know, I like to see him improve. I wish he had to kind of settle down sooner instead of just bouncing around. I still feel that he still has an identity crisis as a fighter. Like, what do he want to do? But I think he's kind of getting comfortable with this Roy thing. He was really fighting like Roy Jones Jr. for the good or bad in the fight. Like, he didn't go back to his old self at all. Like, I didn't see it, and I was expecting it. I was expecting to see him go back to the old Chris Eubank and just run him out of the ring. But he really didn't do it. He's really, that Roy Jones style is really ingrained in him, it seems like. He's just going to have to perfect it now. Keep his hands up at times. Learn how to just, you know, give him different looks, give different things instead of just keeping your hands low and shit. He was keeping his hands low too much. He fight somebody tough or somebody that could punch for real, he would have been in trouble tonight. He would have fight was Liam Williams a southpaw? He fought a southpaw tonight, he probably would have been in trouble. Hey, yeah, Quasibu Ali. I mean, Boo Boo ain't fighting bums, bro. We know what it is, man. Just because these dudes don't got big names, may not be popular, you know, don't mean they bums. You know what I'm saying? That's just some bullshit fans like to do, to downplay another fighter that's getting ducked down here in these boxing streets. That's all that shit is. Yeah, he took too many right hands from dude, AJ. He took too many right hands, just like when he was fighting Korbov. He looked like he was eating too many left hands. You know what I'm saying? He was eating a lot of left hands in that fight with Matt Korbov, bro. He was eating left hands. You know what I'm saying? Like he was about to be losing a decision, just getting smoked by left hands. You know what I'm saying? I'd like to see who he fights next. I would like to see Chris Eubank Jr. fight. He's been ready for one of the top guys, but if he keeps fighting these guys, he's going to get stale. He needs to fight somebody. He needs to really go after a Jaime Munguia. If he's at middleweight, go after Jaime Munguia. Jaime Munguia ain't trying to fight nobody, though. Triple G, well, he ain't trying to fight nobody either. You know what I'm saying? You really can only fight who want to fight. A lot of these dudes don't be wanting to fight. Do Chris Eubank Jr. want to go after guys like Boo Boo or maybe a Jamal Charlo? We heard talks in the past about those fights, but what happened? You know what I'm saying? Chris Eubank Jr. was with PBC for a little minute. Next thing you know, he's back over here with these guys. So what happened with the Jamal Charlo fight and shit like that? You know? He said Chris Eubank Jr. looked like a bum. Lost 5-6 straight. Oh, man. He said, stop trying to look like Roy, missing and hugging air. Hey, that's the bad with it, man. Hey, I ain't mad at you. He did look bad, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, he did some good things in there, but he did do some bad things. You ain't lying. He was missing a lot. He missed when he missed bad. You know what I'm saying? He got hit bad. He's number one for Murata. Okay, Praju Chunk. Why don't you go after Murata? He should be able to beat Murata. But I think if Chris wants to try this Roy Jones shit, he needs to kind of mix it up. You know what I'm saying? Roy Jones was a special person with a natural, like, special gifts. You know what I'm saying? God-like reflexes and shit like that. Chris Eubank Jr. don't got those reflexes. He just don't got it. He don't got the explosiveness, and he don't got that one-shot knockout power. Roy Jones will knock you out with a fucking 4-punch combo with one the same hand type shit. Left, and you'll crumble to the ground and shit. He said looking like a 45. Chad Perez, hey, hold it back. He said he looking like a 45-year-old Roy. Oh, man. It's funny because it's accurate, man. He did look like a... Oh, man, that was funny, dude. Oh, man, I'm a fan of Chris Eubank, man, but that shit was funny. You ain't lying. He did look like a 40-something-year-old Roy. Hey, yeah, it could be true, Praju Chung. He's one of those dudes that fight to the level of his opposition. That's why I say he needs to go up in there and fight somebody for real. Fight somebody that's going to really, really have him on edge. He said, Chad, that's cold, bro. Oh, man, that's funny, man. Y'all hit that like button for your boy. That shit was funny. Oh, man. He says, honestly, it should have been a draw on my card if it wasn't for that bullshit knockdown 11. Hey, man, it was looking like it could have possibly been a draw. I was thinking a draw in the back of my head. I was thinking a draw for this fight just because of the 3 knockdowns earlier in the fight. It didn't look like dude was just really winning the fight. You know what I'm saying? Chris Eubank wasn't throwing punches. He was missing when he did throw punches. Just doing a lot of nothing. And then he got that knockdown in the 11th, which was kind of like a push down, kind of. You know, it was a knockdown, whatever. But the fight could have possibly been a draw, man. He should stop throwing punches. Chris Eubank Jr. used to be a guy that used to throw a lot of punches. That was one of his things. He used to throw a lot of punches. He wasn't a dude that was really hurting dudes like that, but he was throwing a lot of punches, and he'll fucking outwork the shit out of you. Then he started knocking dudes out and shit, like Avery Uderman and shit, knocking dudes out and showing some power. And now he's fighting like Roy Jones, and now he getting tired and shit. That Roy Jones style requires you to be a special type of dude, man. You gotta have the endurance and everything to fight like that. That's why Roy faded with that style. You know what I'm saying? You gotta that's a young man style. That shit requires a lot of speed, power, and explosiveness. Salute to King David. What's going on? He said, why didn't they ask who he wanted to ask? Because actually I didn't see it, but they said they was gonna do the interviews and shit in the back because of the crowd. You know, I guess the crowd was really hostile because it was a pro Liam Williams crowd. It was his crowd. You said, I can't believe people actually pay for that. They actually had to pay for that fight, bro? Salute to Cutie Guy. What's going on, man? Oh, it was $29.99. Okay. See, I didn't even know where you could even do anything for this at. Okay, that's a good price. I mean, shit, I would have paid for it if I'd have known you could pay for it. Shit, $29.99 ain't bad. But that's UK shit. You said, can Eubank beat GGG at this point? Probably. I don't know, man. I think that's still a good fight. Right now, even though Triple G is like, what, 41 now? 40? Hit that like button for your boy. Yeah, I think that's still a good fight. Just because Chris Eubank Jr. still seems like he's developing. Like he got a lot to learn. Still making a lot of mistakes. I mean, he did have a late start, shit like that. You know, he ain't a dude that been boxing his whole life. I mean, look who his dad was. Well, he just had the natural raw ability, and now he trying to find his style. And he found this Roy Jones style. And according to Chad Perez, he's the 45-year-old Roy style. Oh man, that shit was funny. But nonetheless, he got the job done against Liam Williams. Yeah, man. Identity crisis. Yep, I agree. Hey, he going in on Chris Eubanks, man. Chad Perez ain't playing. He's being honest though. He's being honest. He said 8 years later, still, yeah, that's what it seemed like, man. He fought Billy Joe Saunders still a split decision years ago. That fight was actually a split, very competitive fight. And he was really, really, really raw and green back then. You know what I'm saying? But what he had, what he lacked for, and what Billy had, he had a chin and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Good work rate. Now he ain't working, and that's my biggest thing with Chris Eubank Jr. He ain't working like he used to. The Roy Jones thing is okay, you know, but if he had to just let his hands go more, he didn't let his hands go. Was he tired? You know what I'm saying? He just spent too much time showboating, or is that style a really, really, really high endurance style? Especially when you fight a guy like Liam Williams, who even had Boo Boo Andre huffing and puffing at the end of the fight. Let's be honest. Liam Williams had Boo Boo Andre huffing and puffing at the end of that fight. Liam Williams gave Boo Boo Andre a pretty competitive, tough fight too, man. Similar to, I mean, Liam Williams is just a tough fighter, man. Honestly, it could be hard to look good against a guy like him. He's probably just one of those fighters. Well, it's kind of really, really hard to look good against him. He's gonna keep getting up off the canvas. He's gonna keep coming forward. And if you ain't a dude, they're gonna go put him on, put his lights out for good. He's gonna keep coming forward, keep coming at you. Yeah, Billy Joe ain't gonna be fighting again. Yeah, he abandoned the jab. He abandoned the jab. He started throwing looping lead uppercuts and shit. He started throwing uppercuts and shit for like where was your jab at, bro? He stopped throwing his jab. I think if he had a consistent jab tonight, it would have been a little bit easier for him. Keep that stick out in front of him, poking that jab out in front of him. You know, he would have had an easier time because there's a lot of moments where he just looked it bad in the fight where he shouldn't really been looking bad, considering what he did earlier in the fight. But Liam Williams is just a tough guy, man. I'm not gonna take nothing away from him. He can give anybody at any top middleweight a tough night. He fought a prime Triple G. Triple G would have stopped him though. Why? Because Triple G just punches hard. And if you're a guy that's coming towards Triple G, that's exactly what he wants. Yeah, they did both duck James Tony, Fool of Sports. Nigel Benn and Chris Eubanks Sr. Ducked the shit out of James Tony. They didn't want no parts of that dude. He said he was in a fight with Castle the Friendly Ghost. Hell no. James Toney had that bud effect back then. Scared dude, scared to call his name. But it took somebody like Roy Jones to fight James Toney in his prime and shit, man. Another bad motherfucker. But yeah, you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here. Be sure to check out the post-fight reaction for Keith One Time Thurman later on tonight. We're gonna see how Keith looks tonight against Mario Barrios. We expect him to get the job done, but we've seen stranger things. Like, subscribe, holla at your boy. Peace out.